Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1. Check. 1, 2.
You can do magic. You can have anything that you desire. Magic. And you know you're the one who can put out the fire. You know darn well when you cast your spell, you get your way. When you hypnotize with your eyes, a heart of stone can turn to clay. You're the one who can put out the fire. You're the one who can put out the fire. You're the one who can put out. Chewing on a piece of grass, walking down the road. Tell me how long you gonna stay here, Joe? Some people say this town don't look good in snow. You don't care, I know. Ventura Highway in the sunshine, where the days are longer, the nights are stronger than moonshine. You're gonna go, I know. Cause the free wind is blowing through your hair, and the days surround your daylight there. Seasons crying, no despair. Alligator lizards in the air, in the air. Wishing on a falling star, waiting for the early train. Sorry, boy, but I've been hit by purple rain. Aw, come on, Joe, you can always change your name. Thanks a lot, son, just the same. Ventura Highway in the sunshine, where the days are longer, the nights are stronger than moonshine. You're gonna go, I know. Cause the free wind is blowing through your hair, and the days surround your daylight.
wanted painted black.
Maybe then I'll fade away and not have to face the facts. It's not easy facing up when your whole world is black.
No more will my green seagull turn a deeper blue. I could not foresee this thing happening to you.
If I look hard enough into the setting sun, my love will laugh with me before the morning comes. I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes. I wanna see a painted, painted black, black as night, black as coal. I wanna see the sun blotted out from the sky. I wanna see a painted, 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 painted black. Yeah.
Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. But listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had and what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say when they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you know. You know. Now here I go again. I see the crystal vision. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me who wants to wrap around your dreams and have you any dreams you like yourself. Dreams of loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you back. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost. What you had, ooh, what you lost.
stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air. It grew through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Through the portals of Penn's Valley passed the youth with hope supreme, ever seeking, groping, yearning to fulfill their dreams. You are alma mater, welcome one and all. You shaped, molded, and inspired that we could not fall. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail, oh hail, Penn's Valley High, fount of wisdom and of learning, cherished till we die. In thy glorious splendor, better than the best, may we ever honor thee, holding high thy crest.
Hello, and welcome to the class of 2022's graduation ceremony. I, Ashton Taylor, represent our class as senior class president. Before I begin, I want to congratulate all of my classmates on our graduation. We did it, everyone. And to the parents and teachers, nothing that we have learned both inside and outside of school could have been accomplished without you. As president, I also want to bring attention to and show my sincere gratitude for the classes of 1970, 71, and 72 who are here tonight. Welcome back to Penns Valley. I want to thank everyone and all of our families for being here today. And I want to thank the amazing staff at Penns Valley. You have all made us very proud to call this our high school. Finally, I once again need to congratulate my entire class on our graduation, and I wish you all a successful rest of your lives. Now I want to take a minute of my time to speak to you about our future. As sad as it is to some, we are growing up, and most of us are now adults. Once we walk off this field, our high school days are over, and it will be time to move on. However, I want everyone to know, both those graduating and graduated, that you are in control of your life. It's heard all too often, what if I don't make the cut? What if they don't accept me? What if my grades are too low? What if I'm late today? What if I had chosen to do that instead? We have the world at our fingertips, yet we get caught in the fear of what if, and it always limits us. When I first knew of the opportunity to become class president, I dug for it. I wrote ad campaigns, I told my friends to vote for me, and I even appeared on the announcements to announce my candidacy. I made sure to dig deep to win, and I did. And it was a great feeling to win because I worked for it. I want you all here today to dig for your dreams. If you want that new job position, if you're saving to go on vacation, if you're studying to pass your final exams, never stop digging. Don't get caught in the rubble of what ifs. We are not on this planet for a long time, so make the most of all the opportunities you are given. Here's the lesson I want you all to remember. You will never know what treasure is buried if you cannot convince yourself it's worth the dig. What I mean is, you won't know your full potential if you don't at least try. We're all capable of greatness. Even if it's little accomplishments, they still matter. Always remember that any opportunity you are given is worth the dig. Nothing is impossible for you to accomplish. Keep digging, and someday you will find the treasure you've always wanted.
Stream that meets a boulder halfway through.
Good evening and welcome to all of you. It's a pleasure to have family, friends, and members of our community here to celebrate this milestone event. Graduates, I offer my most sincere commendations. Parents and supporters, a heartfelt thank you. And to our faculty and staff, my truest appreciation. Class of 2022. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Chicken and egg is a metaphoric phrase describing situations where it's not clear which of two items should be considered the cause and which the effect. So how does this causality dilemma apply to your commencement ceremony? Well, this causality dilemma applies because everyone here wants each of you to be both happy and successful. No doubt you too want to be happy and successful. So which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Are you successful people happy? Or are happy people successful? In other words, does success cause happiness, or does happiness cause success? Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? I believe that happiness facilitates success. Sean Anker, author of The Happiness Advantage, describes positive brain research and its impact on our actions, beliefs, and feelings. He tells stories about his experience and study of happiness at Harvard University. He acknowledges the blessings that students initially feel when being accepted to Harvard. He also found that feeling waned over time for some students. He uncovered unhappy students who were overwhelmed and depressed, while other students were happy, expressing appreciation, energy, and passion. Those unhappy students missed out on the opportunities at hand and diminished their success. Yet the happy students shined even brighter, excelled, and were more successful. Although both groups should be happy, this was not the case. Why? Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Stefan Wisniewski is a Penn State graduate and football player, as well as an NFL retiree. During his most recent commencement address, his life advice was to soak in the gratitude and be thankful for everything we have. Realize that no matter how much you have, someone is likely to have more, and no matter how little you have, someone is likely to have less. He concludes that this comparison is the number one thief of joy and the pathway to endless unhappiness. He encourages everyone to count their blessings, find joy in the journey, be grateful, and happy. Let me walk you through a brief example. How many of you know someone who owns a really nice car or truck? How would you like to own something similar? If you did own that vehicle, would it make you happy or successful or both? If so, for how long? The secret to happiness is to constantly seek those things that we now have and appreciate them. Again, the act of seeking happiness is important to your future success. More recently, many of you heard from Pastor Titus at Baccalaureate. He talked about finding happiness. He shared that happiness is a byproduct of other things, like purpose, integrity, and identity. Pastor Titus advised that perspective matters. How you see yourself matters. Be pleased with yourself. Be happy with yourself. He, like Wisniewski and Anker, provided strategies like thinking about your blessings and being regularly, often, and purposefully thankful. Sean Anker encourages you to end each day by making a list of 3 things for which you're thankful. This routine act will move your mind into a positive, happy state. It sets you up to be successful. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Happiness or success? Go for happiness. I am confident that if you learn to appreciate what you have, you will find happiness and ultimately reach your individual success. Class of 2022, are you ready to decide which comes first, the chicken or the egg? I ask all present to join me in encouraging our graduates to be both happy and successful for the rest of their life. It's my pleasure to once again share that how much we appreciate having the class of 70, 71, and 72 here with us this evening. And it's also my pleasure to welcome to the podium Jim Curlin. He's a Penns Valley graduate from the class of 1972. And Mr. Curlin grew up in Center Hall and graduated from Penn State in 1976 with a BS in accounting. Immediately following graduation, he began his career as a CPA in Pittsburgh and in the Lehigh Valley. He then came back to the Center region working in State College, Lewisburg, and most recently at New Pig in Tipton. Jim has since retired and spends his time volunteering at Roney Mead in Center Hall. Jim's family has ties to Penns Valley dating back 200 plus years. His grandfather owned and operated Grandview Poultry Farm, which was located where Grandview Terrace neighborhood now exists. James and his siblings even have streets in that neighborhood named after them: Patricia Avenue, James Avenue, and Williams Street. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Curlin to the stand.
Thank you, Dr. Griffith, for that great introduction. And wow, class of 2022, look at you. Whew. You're cool. But you're not as cool as the class of 1972. Just don't let that get into your head that we were the coolest. These guys here, because of the COVID restrictions, the class of 71 and 70 couldn't be here in previous years, so they're here today. They were pretty decent, but they weren't as cool as we were. So in any case, wanted to get that on the record and keep it clear. But you guys, you were wearing masks and coming into school? Really? If we'd have done that back in 1972, we'd have spent the morning in detention while the administration called out to Hosterman and Stover and the Johnson General Store and said, hey, you guys didn't have a stick-up this morning, did you? I mean, no, really. You're to be commended for putting up with some very difficult situations. This was a once-in-a-century pandemic that disrupted your schooling, disrupted your lives, created a lot of stress for what you were doing here. And you're to be commended for working your way through that. But guess what? Life is going to throw a lot of curves at you. It's not always going to be smooth. There's going to be things that happen. When our class graduated 50 years ago, 2 weeks after graduation, another 100-year event happened. That was Hurricane Agnes, horrendous flooding in the area. And then after that, we had a few little things like war in the Middle East, long gas lines, volcanoes going off in Washington State. The world will always throw challenges at you, and that's fine. You need to make yourself resilient to deal with the challenges that occur in your life and in the world around you. And you have that capability and that grounding based upon a great education that you've got here at Penns Valley. But other remarks I wanted to make kind of got stepped on. I mean, the Ashton and Dr. Griffith both raised points that were in my prepared remarks, which tells me either that they're great ideas or I was really smart. I like to think that was the case, but in any case, it's true. You do have your future before you. You have control over how you handle things and what comes your way, the resources that you can bring to dealing with all of life's ups and downs. So I'll just switch gears a little bit and talk about investment. If you were to invest $1,000 at age 21, let's say you're able to come up with $1,000 and you put it into an index fund on the stock market, and you just let it sit there and continue to reinvest its earnings in that fund. By the time you're 45, that would be over $5,000. Things build up over time, the power of compound interest. They say the two biggest forces in the world are the power of compound interest and entropy. So that kind of ties together. Entropy is things go into a wasting state if you don't apply energy to it. Your own life, if you drift along and you don't put effort into investing in yourself, it's like having an old car that you don't maintain. Over time, it breaks down and it's worthless in a few years, as opposed to you invest in yourself and you work on developing skills and you work on identifying bad habits that you have that maybe you could work on this a little bit and stop something that is impeding your progress towards what you want to be and what you want to achieve. And on the other side, developing good habits. And the power of compounding interest and the whole idea of the investment is do it now. Face those facts up early when they appear to you and take action. You have that ability to take your own action. And if you develop a good habit and you are able to implement a change that's a positive change in your life, every year thereafter, you're deriving benefits from that. And then every year after, you can make other positive changes in your life as it happens, and it grows and grows and grows, and you have a better and a more fulfilling life. You're more strong and resilient to deal with the times that sickness or adversity of some kind comes into your life, and you're ready to deal with it. You've been a connected generation, and it just kind of blows my mind that you were in diapers when the smartphone was invented, and now it seems to be a key part of everybody's life. People spend a lot of time online and constantly referring to their devices. I'd challenge you, though, just to step back and make sure that you make that a proportionate part of your life. That the real world is full of people that you can interact with and have relationships with, that you can serve, that you can honor, that you can make the memories that you will reflect back on if, Lord willing, 50 years from now, you're able to come back and visit a graduating class. You can look back and say, yeah, I did something there. I had relationships. I've developed something in my life that is meaningful. And spending all your time online can be confusing. It can be distracting. It can detract from that. And I would just urge you to keep everything in balance, because much of life is staying in balance in order to have a healthy and successful life. And the other thing in investment that you need to invest in, and it won't be apparent to you now because you're young and you're resilient and you can absorb a lot of things. As you age, your body's going to be saying, So develop good health habits now. Good healthy eating with healthy food and appropriate quantities, and that whole thing of it, the investment, it's a lot easier if you say, my gosh, I could probably stand to lose 15 pounds, and work on that and lose 15 pounds if you need to, than be looking around and say, oh, maybe I should be losing 55 pounds. Again, the bias for action is when you see an opportunity before you to make an improvement, take it, because time goes by fast. When you reach our age bracket, you're amazed at how quickly the days go by, and the things that you used to do just have a different meaning for you. So live during the time that you have, the time that the good Lord gives each one of us, and live it to the fullest, and work on investing, and enjoy the benefits of that investment over your lifetime. I'd like to acknowledge the rest of the class of 1972, 71, and 70. They're great people. I'm glad to have them back here for your commencement. And I know I speak on behalf of all of them. God bless the class of 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Curlin. I'll take the 55. Graduates, good evening. How are you? Happy day. As the principal of Penns Valley High School, it is an honor to offer some remarks tonight as we celebrate the class of 2022. I would like to thank Dr. Griffith, our Board of School Directors, and the entire Penns Valley school community for this opportunity. I would also like to welcome the classes of 1970, 1971, and 1972. It's great to have alumni back on the field. What an awesome tradition. And I also appreciate the faculty and staff who are able to join us tonight. I'm going to go off script here for a quick second. Just listening to our students sing and play their instruments takes a lot of guts to get up in front of an audience live and do that, and I thought they sounded amazing. So let's give another round of applause for our band and chorus students. Thank you, Mr. Dreamer. As most of you know, I'm finishing my second year as principal at Penns Valley High School, meaning this is my second graduation speech. And while I thought it might be easier to prepare such a speech after a year under my belt, that was not the case. As I did last year, I found myself asking the same question over and over again. What meaningful advice can I possibly offer a group of high school seniors ending one chapter of their lives and entering another? So I thought back to my senior year in 1998. That sounds really old when I say it out loud. Specifically, I thought about what was important to me at the time as an 18-year-old. Right away, music came to mind. For as long as I can remember, I have loved music. And while I, ironically, have no musical ability, it has always played an important role in my life. Based on the number of AirPods I see in the ears of our students in the hallways, I believe the same is true for many of you. What I like most about music is that it can help us express our emotions and feelings regardless of the situation. Name a situation, there's a song for that. So I turned to music for inspiration for a theme for my speech. In thinking about graduating high school and moving on in life, one specific song came to my mind. Glory Days by Bruce Springsteen. All right, time for a quick quiz. Graduates, raise your hand nice and high if you've actually heard of Bruce Springsteen. All right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I wasn't quite sure what I would get here. I don't know if some of you are being truly honest, but that's pretty good. Audience, hands if you know Bruce Springsteen. Woot woot right out there. All right, so got some Springsteen fans out there. So that's okay. Seniors, if you do not know about this rock and roll icon, I can quickly fill you in. Bruce Springsteen, also known as the Boss, released the song Glory Days in 1985. That sounds old too. The verses in the song reference looking back on the glory days of your high school years. And this phrase is not unique to this famous tune. In fact, Merriam-Webster actually has a definition for glory days: a time in the past that is remembered for great success or happiness. So while Springsteen's hit is catchy, and there is certainly nothing wrong with reminiscing about your past, I challenge each of you to go above and beyond the boss's lyrics and not allow your high school years to be your glory days. There are bigger and better things out there for each and every one of you. To me, that's the most exciting thing about graduation. It's simply a transition to a wide open world full of possibilities. Take the lessons you've learned in and out of the classroom, the good and the not so good, and grow from those experiences. Moving forward, be sure to not spend too much time in the past. As one of our Penns Valley belief statements promotes, strive to be better tomorrow than you are today. Moreover, I encourage you to live your life with a never-ending pursuit of your glory days. In closing, I wish each and every one of you well, and while I hope you had a wonderful high school experience, I know that your best days are ahead of you. Don't be strangers. Come back and reminisce, but be sure to bring new stories with you about all the amazing things you will have accomplished after tonight. As a final homework assignment, expand your musical horizons and be sure to check out The Boss. Congratulations to the class of 2022. You truly are a remarkable group. I will miss you. At this time, it brings me great pleasure to introduce the class of 2022 salutatorian, Haley M. Breon.
Fellow students, faculty, family, and friends, it is an honor to be here speaking on behalf of my class. I would like to take a moment to thank all the teachers and everyone else here who has helped us along our way, as well as congratulations to all of you before me. We have spent a majority of our years together, and throughout this time, we have grown and changed into the adults who are about to walk across this stage. When I started high school, I would never have dreamed of being on stage talking to a large group of people. Even now, the thought is still very intimidating. Yet, high school has allowed me to grow and challenge me to do things I never thought I would or even could do. Not only have the changes of high school impacted all of us, but the world was forever changed during the pandemic. We were forced to adapt and overcome obstacles that there was not even a precedent for overcoming. Nonetheless, we navigated through all the unknowns, and here we are graduating today. High school was a stepping stone for us in our paths to become who we are. We were able to change ourselves and try different things before deciding exactly who we wanted to be. We are no longer the little kids who ran through the halls in 7th grade because we were afraid to be late to class. Now, we have grown into adults who will change the world to what we want it to be. I recently attended my brother's graduation where Don King, a former director of a show some of you may be familiar with, Saturday Night Live, spoke about how his life changed over the years. He wanted to be an actor, but his father would not let him, so he went to school for broadcasting. Late in his life, he finally pursued his dreams of show business and changed his life path to become a director. His story really struck a chord with me because even though he had his life planned out and started one way, he completely changed it into something even bigger and better. When I started high school, I remember feeling like high school would go on forever. It always seemed like graduation was so far away, but it came a lot quicker than I thought it would. I grew to be familiar and comfortable within the halls of Penns Valley, and the idea of leaving them is a scary thought. I have never liked change, and I still do not. But I know that I cannot remain in the idea of high school for the rest of my life. I need to continue growing into my own person and forging my own path. Don King also gave the Penn State graduating class advice on their futures. One piece that really stood out to me was the idea that people's passions change over the years. As people grow and evolve, their passions change with them. He made it clear that it is okay to change your mind about your life and make it into something different whenever you want. Personally, I still do not know what I am doing with my life after graduation other than attending Penn State. Therefore, this advice helped me to calm my fears about the future and realize that I am going to change my mind a million times before I decide what is best for me. Just as we have grown throughout high school, we will continue to grow throughout the rest of our lives. The people who we are now are only the beginning to who we will become. Change has always been something I have feared, the unknowns lurking in the foreground of all my decisions. One thing I want everyone to take away from this speech is that nobody knows what they are going to do with the rest of their lives. They may have a concept that seems to be completely put together, yet times change. Always remember, if you grow out of one dream, find a new one. Life is always changing, so be sure to change with it. We can always remember it's a great day to be a Ram. Thank you.
Nice job, Haley. Thank you. At this time, it brings me great pleasure to introduce the class of 2022 valedictorian, Jonathan Richard O'Donnell.
Good evening, and I would like to offer a sincere thank you to everyone in attendance tonight. I would like to begin by thanking all of the people who made each of our educations possible, particularly our teachers. One of the greatest lessons that I have learned over the past few years, especially in light of the pandemic, is the incredible work that our educators have done every day to improve our futures. And it is important that that effort is recognized. I am sure that many of you have learned from at least one teacher who has not only served as a guide in life, but also as a mentor, as well as their role of an educator. Regardless of whether they have taught you since 7th grade, or if you only took their class once. I urge all of you to seek out these teachers today and make sure to express your appreciation to them of their guidance before it's too late. Without our teachers, our education would have been wildly different. But I can say with confidence that our time in high school has already proven to be unorthodox. We are guaranteed to occupy a special place in society, one informed by nearly 2 years of masking and social distancing that upended our daily routines and interactions through school, challenging us in ways we had never before been able to imagine. The experience of living through a pandemic was not one size fits all. Rather, it proved to be unique for each of us, producing different obstacles for different people to navigate. Whether it was being secluded from others, losing a sense of time, or having activities postponed or canceled entirely. My personal experience of the pandemic was one of learning online for over a year, and resultantly one of isolation. Especially outside of my sports season, the deprivation of true social interaction that I experienced was stifling. Academically, I was doing fine, but mentally and emotionally, this was far from the truth. Without the presence of my peers, I felt muted, unfocused, unmoored from my normal place in the world, and it was a challenging time for me. As we began our final year of high school, this mental haziness that I had persisted. I felt so uncertain about what I wanted to do with my life, where I wanted to go to discover it, and how I would be successful. And I sensed a pressure to find a path immediately. But this year offered me a new perspective. As we made our way through the marking periods, my concerns remained, but the stress that accompanied them lessened. I attribute this change to the chance that this year provided me simply to be around people again, inside and outside of the classroom. I have always gained energy from being around my peers, whether it takes the form of a group project in history class or a movie marathon with friends. This year, when I was finally able to have those experiences again, it felt like a part of me that was missing had finally been restored. There are many lessons to be taken away from the last few years, but I would like to assert that the greatest is the importance of other people to our own well-being. We as humans are hypersocial animals. We live, work, and share experiences with one another. We cooperate to form complex institutions that sometimes even manage to serve the people they govern. We learn entire languages, both verbal and nonverbal, in order to communicate with one another on a level of sophistication unmatched by any other creature that walks the planet. This facet of our nature is so integral to the way that we act that it can be easy to forget how important it is to how we function, at least until it's taken away. COVID taught us the essential nature of social interaction in a number of ways. It deprived us of face-to-face conversations, sporting events, concerts, normal schooling, and so much more. But COVID also allowed us to appreciate our need for socialization through our resilience in the face of a global pandemic. Through Zoom meetings with family members, voice chats and video games with friends, even paper letters made a short comeback. Of course, our current relationship with COVID-19 is much different than those early days of quarantining and isolation. But as we continue to restore normalcy to our daily lives, I think that it is worth remembering this insight that has been provided to us. As we prepare to move into the next great phase of our lives, I think that it is worth remembering, I think it's worth stopping to appreciate the connections that we have formed with the people around us, and that we will continue to form throughout our lives, the fundamental trait that makes us human. I would argue that this characteristic is not only essential to the way that we exist, but also in ensuring that that existence continues. From a degrading environment to increasing political polarization to social and economic inequality around the world, there are some truly daunting challenges that are pressing us on a societal level today. And in a time where we are becoming more divided than ever, we are going to have to cooperate to solve these problems. Yet, I am optimistic about the future, because I know that we have the potential to interact, to pool our resources, and to collaborate on the scale necessary to build a better world. It's really only a question of whether we choose to take this action. So before we all leave here today, I implore all of you to make this choice to interact, not only for your own individual well-being, but also for the welfare of society as a whole. Thank you.
Nice job, Jonathan. Thank you. Before we begin the presentation of the class of 2022, it is extremely important that we take a few moments to recognize the people who make this wonderful ceremony possible. First, I would like to thank the Penns Valley faculty and support staff. Your hard work and dedication to our students is truly appreciated. I'd also like to thank our Director of Physical Plant, Mr. Miller, our entire custodial staff, and our grounds crew. The pride you take in your work is noticed and very much appreciated. We certainly cannot forget to thank our office team, Mrs. Breon, Mrs. Frank, Mrs. Gensmore, Mrs. Glasgow, and Mrs. Snyder for their role in making today possible. Finally, I would like to recognize the efforts of Mrs. Miller and Mrs. Giese. Their work as the senior class advisors is absolutely essential to make tonight a success. Thank you for all that you have done for our graduates. A special thank you to Southwest Savings Bank for providing miniature diplomas for all of our graduating seniors, a very nice keepsake. And last but certainly not least, I would also like to recognize the two underclassmen who took the time to put their creativity to work and design our program cover art. Creator of the cap and diploma cover, Madison Butler. Creator of the school front cover, Isabella Luce. Now, for the part you've all been waiting for, we have a tradition at Penns Valley that the seniors choose who reads their names as they receive their diplomas. I am pleased to share that this year's selection includes 3 teachers who are retiring this year: Mr. Bruce Hedinger, Mrs. Jill Giese, and Mrs. Sandy Zerby. I'd like to invite Mr. Hedinger to the podium.
Class of 2022, on behalf of Mrs. Giese, Mrs. Zerby, myself, I'd like to thank you for the honored opportunity to read off your names. We would also like to congratulate you on all your accomplishments and wish you well on all your future endeavors. Row 1, would you please rise? Ashton V. Taylor. Rianne McKenna Whitmer. Kaylin Ruth Winkleblack. Caitlin Matthews Romig. Jonathan Richard O'Donnell. Haley M. Breon. Andrew Jacob Bogle. Andrew Douglas Boob. Asa Warwick Boomer Brazier. Brianna K. Bressler. Matilda B. Carey. Sai Iwami Clausing. Aiden Michael Culver. Virginia Catherine Gavick. Mackenzie Lene Golden. Madeline Gooch. Samuel William Hawkins. Ty E. Houts. Emma May Lake. I apologize. Alex King. Emma May Lake. Sarah Ann Martin. Ryan Patrick McFeely. Kyle Nowinski. Jacob Royer. Anna Marie Stitzer. Cameron Lee Upcraft. Taylor Chantal Wetzel. Rachel Michelle Dreibelbis. Jordan M. Kleinfelter. Michaela Ann Ripka. Lindsay M. Smiles. Elizabeth Marie Spiker. Nolan M. Stover. Gage M. Whitehill. Cadence Claire Bainey. Dylan R. Beerley.
Alexis Sue Bilby. Julian L. Black. Zachary Andrew Brocht. Ellie Rebecca Brinker. Riley Mark Brungart. Austin Buck. Rosanna Castiglia. Luke Confer. Logan Crater. Seth Daughters. Sarah K. Dean. Caitlin Dietz. Sarah M. Dills. Cole Jameson Felker. Faith Federoff. Sarah Frances Flore. Jocelyn Elizabeth Fye. Alexander C. Gilbert. Catherine Elizabeth Goodwin. Daniel Gray. Michael Grillo. Amanda Lee Grove. Stephen D. Hawkins. Michael W. Hill. Caleb David Homan. Jenna Elizabeth Hyde. Tanner Martin Ilgen. Trenton M. Kerstetter. Tori Rebecca Leanne Corman. Raymond James Knapp. Trenton J. Lacerda. Lauren T. Lamy. Cheyenne Alice May Lohner. Nathaniel James Long. Dylan Lowe. Alexander Chase Mersinger.
Grace Ellen Myers. Ian A. Myers. Owen Miller. Tanner C. Nyhart. Joseph Pollock. Trinity Marie Porman. Logan Jameson Powell. Cora Lynn Randolph. Madeline J. Rilling. Faith Roberts. Chrislyn Runk. Abby Rote. Joseph R. Schrenkel. Madeline B. Schaefer. Brody A. Schreckengast. Jaden Simons. Caroline Elizabeth Smith. Samantha Stina Snyder. Mackenzie Elizabeth Snyder. Dylan T. Stroud. Mackenzie Grace Suter. Colby Richard Schweitzer. Malachi R. Thompson. Ronnie E. Tickner, Jr. Evelyn Jane Van Heist. Kayla Verbanik. Corinne Elizabeth Vones. Christina A. Walker. Raymond Edward Walker. McLean M. Welshens. Kashmir Jules Wheat. Colin Michael Witherite. Abby Wolf. Hayden Lee Yerrick. Nicholas Miller.
Something on here about principal certification. Should we do that? We ready? We good? Okay, all right. It's the best part, right? That's why I applied for this job. Will the class of 2022 please rise? Come on. With the authority granted to me by the Penns Valley Board of School Directors and the Pennsylvania Department of Education, I am proud to announce that all the names of the students submitted to the school board for approval have met the necessary requirements for a Penns Valley High School diploma. You may now move your tassels from right to left. I present the Penns Valley High School class of 2022. Congratulations.
Thank you.